All right. And good. Okay. Looks like everything is running well. All right.
We gotta sign into YouTube. Okay.
And when we get done with that, Everett, I'll check those and see if they're going to work on YouTube.
Are you talking about the emojis?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other ones got approved on Twitch,
Good.
so we shouldn't have
I
a
didn't see any problem with murder hobos.
problem. All right. Hello and welcome. It is the Snowbirds meeting room today, and this is going to be about the state of the game and the SCL, which I'm going to go run the video today and the SCL, stop it at points, talk about things, and we go from there. So I'm here with Tone and Everett, and it is going to be one of those interesting ones. Well, I can't say it's going to be interesting. That depends on you. So, gonna kill the timer and get us started. And set. Right. And click over the meeting room. Okay. All right. So, as you know, the SCL dropped, and we had some very enlightening news about ships and things of that nature. Hello, Everett. And
Hi.
okay, so I found that this SEO was really, really good. It gave quite a bit of information. As we know, the Apollo is going to uh, drop, and that is a great thing. Uh, cannot complain. Uh, it's not going to have drones, as we know. So the gameplay is going to change with medical. In the sneak peek, they were showing recharge stations and the slots where you're going to put the goo. Is the goo going to come in 4.3.1? We don't know. Those who have the Apollo, and which I do have one, is going to come with 6 modules. The ship is already modular. As you know, last year when we got the Retaliator, when the Retaliator modularity came into play, um, that was huge. Okay, really huge. So now, since this ship is coming and it's going to have 6 modules, those who have this ship will get those modules right off the bat when it launches. Now, this is a question. How long is it going to take to replace a module? Is it going to be in the BLM? Is it going to take time to change it? We don't know. That's something that I'm wondering about, because remember the Galaxy, uh, whenever the Galaxy comes out, um, those modules are going to take time to change over, but we don't know how long. For realism, it could take a day or two. We don't know, because you have to, if they do it right, if they do it like a simulation, you're gonna need a crew. It's gonna be like dry dock. You're gonna take the module out of the ship and then put a new one in, and that could take hours, or it could take a day to refit the ship and everything like that. Have no idea. But for it
Can
to
I
work,
interject?
go ahead.
All right. Let's assume that it takes an hour to reclaim the ship. Just keeping a round number.
Okay, that's reclaim.
Yes, you're claiming the ship. It's having to go the insurance route.
Yeah.
Feasibly, it should take at minimum or most, I'll just use the round number here again, a half hour to change out a module that's integral to the ship's operation. Not necessarily the drive or the shield components or the firearms, but the bay itself.
Yeah.
I would say a half hour would be a good time on that, because you're not getting the whole ship, you're just replacing part of the ship.
Right. But I'm I'm gonna go with a but, because
All right.
that ship is gonna be, it's like it's gonna be dry docked if they want
Yeah.
realism. Okay? If they want realism, it's gonna be dry docked. It's gonna be refitted with that new module. So all the power and everything has to be disconnected, and then drop in the new one and reconnect everything, and then it'll be ready to go. So if they want realism, it could take days. It could take a day
I
to
love where you're
to
going, but people are not going to put up with that.
I'm just saying.
I know. That's why I say I love where you're going with that, but people will, when they tried to extend the length of time on reclaiming ships, folks got pissed about that, because they're there to play the game. They're not there to
Right?
watch the counter tick down. So I'm just being the devil's advocate here.
Yeah. But you got to remember too, this this is a different ship from the Galaxy. The Galaxy is a larger ship, okay?
Correct.
With modules in the Apollo or on the Retaliator, it's going to take less time. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking Galaxy, but let me get back the uh to the Apollo. It depends on how many modules you're going to put in as well. So I think it's going to go with the VLM, the vehicle loadout manager, and then
Okay.
it's gonna, you can change out component. It's gonna be like components. You can change them out or whatever, weapons or anything like that. I don't know. That's just my speculative thought on that.
May I add something?
Go.
What about engineering gameplay when you're going to have you, yourself, or your team of engineers to perform this task of removing a module and installing it? It would take longer depending on your skill level. And what about also you could have the station have their teams of engineers and whatnot to install the part for you, which could take a lot less time, but it will cost you.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
because I'm
That
lazy. I don't have to sit there and go through all that.
Oh, but I mean, these are different options that could come up, and it is highly possible that that could happen. You know, you take a ship, s- put it in storage, say you want to change something out, you would have to pay that station to change it out. But you got to remember, you're going to be at your home, you know, your home hangar
All right,
to
can
get
I
to get
introduce
that
another
done.
thing?
Go?
This is a capital ship, right?
No, the Apollo is not.
How big is it totally?
Uh, it's the
There's
size. It's the size of a constellation. It's a
all
constellation.
right, all right. You got to have a large enough parking area to park that thing. Um,
Yeah.
Not every station can support an extra large hangar.
True.
Well, this is
So,
a station. If you're going to a station, I'm talking about your home hangar.
right.
Okay.
Well, I get
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying there's going to be a point where, awesome as that sounds, you can't park a reclaimer at a local station because there simply isn't anywhere to put it.
Yeah. There's no place to get a reclaimer.
So you'd have to have a specific. You'd have to go to an orbitable or an orbiting planetary orbital base to get an extra large hangar, or go to a um, transfer point to another local group like Terra Gateway and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, and that's just to deal with the size of it. Unless they will allow you to do it where the capital ships park at the end of the stations,
Mm-hmm.
which I think they should allow you to put a dock a reclaimer down there too, because it technically does have a docking collar. It's just in the wrong place.
Okay.
That brings up a good point, because basically, even though you may not have the appropriate size hangar, the station will probably have a dry dock area that they can only access. They will pull your ship from storage, they'll put it over there, they'll do the modifications, and they'll send it back, but they'll also charge you for the rental of the dry dock.
I would appreciate. That's awesome. I like the thoughts on that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
because then you're
yeah,
adding
go.
a money component.
Well, you have to. You would have to. I mean, you got your persistent hangar, right?
Yeah,
On the planet at your home. Those are
yeah,
where your modules are going to be. Okay.
yeah.
Now, when base building comes, right, you can take that ship, okay, up to your base. You've got your engineering area and stuff like that, right? You can take that ship and put it there. And then that's where you get refitted. Okay. What?
Off topic. I just have to explain this right quick because it's relevant to my experience currently. All right. I've been having issues in game with stuttering.
Okay.
I'm sorry to change the subject, but it's relevant to the experience of a lot of people in our group that various games tend to start stuttering. I just removed several Windows components, Outlook being one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and the stuttering is gone.
Interesting.
All right. Now, if I back to where you were at, if
Mm-hmm.
I pull up at a dry dock station, a
Mm-hmm.
specific to do this,
Mm-hmm.
I have to, if the components are at the home hangar and I'm at Crusader,
Mm-hmm.
how do I get those components to the dry dock station? Do I pay them to ship them
See,
like they do in another
these are
space game?
okay. These are different aspects of base building.
Correct.
Because
That's
base, yeah. So when we get, hey, Super, what's up? Base building is going to, especially space stations. Okay, your stuff is you're going to have to transport your stuff up to that space station, right?
You're talking about the normal small stuff. That's not a problem.
No,
These are medium to low capital ship size modules.
and they're going
They're
to have
not
to
going
be
to
moved.
transport. They're going to
Yeah,
have to be
So
moved by special machinery.
yeah.
so could I interject? Can
Please.
we have a hull C or a ship big enough to attach these modules to transport it?
I love where you're at. I do not have a hull C.
We would have to
No, but
we would have to have a large cargo ship to do that.
Yeah.
you can hire someone to do that for you, but it has to have the amount of room to place the module or modules, because there could be more than one,
Yeah.
and just transport it up.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
I like the mechanic of being able to pay the local area place
Mm-hmm.
to ship the module to the location. In
Mm-hmm.
doing so, it takes time and it takes money.
Mm-hmm.
This creates an economic balance between, do I need medical gameplay or do I need storage for shipping? And how much is it going to cost me to ship said item versus the money I'm going to make off of having item after I get it to use it? If
Well,
it costs more to ship it and install it than you're going to make using it, then it makes you have to think about what you're doing.
well, okay. We all know Star Citizen is a game of preparation, right?
Yeah, it's preparation H.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I'm sorry. It's a pain in the ass.
but when space stations are built, okay, and we saw this in the at the Citizen Con, right, last year, how different sections are going to be built, right? The cargo section, right, is going to take those components, right, transfer it up to that section. Then it's going to be transferred to the engineering section where, excuse me, the shipyard is, right?
Okay.
So you're going to bring your ship to that shipyard and that's where it's going to be done. You get where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
You
And,
just raised a whole other list of theoretical
and
possibilities.
but that's how the system should work, right? You would have
All right.
So
to go to that specific area to get your ship refitted or even build a ship. You got to have a shipyard.
oh,
Right?
absolutely, and that's where base building comes in, because not everybody's going to have a large base. They're going to have a small base and big enough for their ship to be parked outside, but they have to get a bigger ship done. They have to go to some place that has a shipyard and a dry dock.
Agreed. Totally agreed. You have to have that. And in space, okay, in space, not on the planet, because you could do it on the planet, but in space, you could have an orbital station, right, with a dry dock for a large ship to be built, like a Javelin or a Bengal carrier or something like that. Now, down on the ground, you could have a special area to build ships there, right? Where you can construct a ship, you can actually do your refits on the ground for a ship. But the larger ship, the capital ships, okay, that's my thought that I would have a shipyard in space. Bring that ship up there or build a large ship up there. That's me.
I agree.
Go ahead,
Imagine
Tone.
crashing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Go ahead.
imagine crashing. Imagine crashing on a planet and you have to fix your ship on the planet. You can't have any access because for some reason your comms are down. So you can see a bunch of wooden blocks and support beams to hold your ship up while you repair it.
Well, no, what I was going after is this is opening up the opportunity for an orbital player built station
Yeah, which,
that,
which we did see in CitizenCon. Yeah.
yeah, and I rent, let's just say I decide I want to do this, so I rent
Mm-hmm.
a space around the planet, a particular location
Mm-hmm.
at coordinates 25 by 50 by 25 meters off the planet. It's not
Mm-hmm.
right, but it's just a number.
Mm-hmm.
I want, at that time, we as an organization create a repair station and or refit station, and
Mm-hmm.
players pay us to do the refit on their ships.
Mm-hmm.
Money.
Yeah.
Well, what about the distribution centers? You just contact them and say, hey, we need a ship to come over here to gather our resources or whatnot and transport it to this other station where we can get our ship built.
Mm-hmm.
There's possibilities are endless, but the game mechanics have to allow for it.
Yep, I know.
Super says, I'd like more info on this battle cruiser just for planning purposes. Huh? Yeah. There's
Nothing wrong with that.
there are so many different things that popped up in this SCL that blew a lot of people away. Now, unfortunately, for those that have the 600i, like myself, we are going to be waiting for the rework, as we know. And Tone and I were talking about this after it dropped. The BMM, the Banu Merchantman. Where's that ship going to land? Okay, it's a very tall ship and a very wide ship. Now,
Not wrong.
last time that I saw something about the BMM, the wings can extend or retract. Okay, it does have landing gear, as we know. It could land in an extra large hangar, but I think it's going to be they're going to have to come up with a larger hangar for that ship.
Right.
But
Here's the problem with that. If I walk into your hangar uninvited, it relocates me.
yeah,
That ship is built to be a
shopping center.
thank you, a shopping center. And if I have to, that would require permissions in game for people to come in and out of the hangar space that it's in.
That's
I'm
if
not
you
saying
land it
that's,
in a hangar. If
yeah.
you land it
And
outside of that, then it's free. People are free to come in and out. Yeah, go ahead.
right. So if, say, for instance, I land at Crusader, that's my favorite place. I put out on the local speakers, shopping center XYZ is parked at large hangar, da 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 da. Feel free to come and buy things.
You would have to dock that ship.
Thank you. Yes,
You would have to
but
dock that ship. And then,
Orison is
yeah,
not built to dock ships.
yeah, it is.
It needs to be.
Orson, Orson's, I mean, when you bring a large ship down there, right? Especially Polaris, you have to dock that ship on a docking collar and then store it. And then it gives you extra large hangar to leave.
All right, now I'm going to agree with you. Yes, but if I'm bringing down the Hull C, which technically should be able to fly in that atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's a gravitational zone.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to go up, you got to aim that thing up like a rocket and floor it.
Yeah.
If I go down there and I'm transporting goods, I cannot load and unload at Orson.
Okay.
I have to do it in orbit.
Right.
All right. Now, if I am at Orson
Mm-hmm.
and we're moving modules, the hull C is big enough to move these modules,
True.
but I can't load and unload in that zone. So these ships that require these modules have to be an orbital facility spawn location only.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the modules will be unreachable.
That's where this is going to have a problem.
Yeah, that's why I rounded everything around and came back to that, because all the information just decided, okay, I can work now. Let's do this.
But see, Orson, that's why. Um, uh, 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 don't get me wrong. I love Orson. It's beautiful, but it's limited.
Right.
And
But
this is
I'm
where,
using it.
yeah, go.
The
Go
reason
ahead.
why I'm picking Orson for all of these different questions is it's a floating city. It's not attached to any ground level anything that requires special architecture to be built into it. And that's why I'm using it.
Okay. As you know, Crusader is stationed out of Orson. Okay.
Yes.
Because of the atmosphere and things like that, that's where they were building the Hercules.
Yep.
So they have to have a shipyard there to do this. So
Correct.
it's not there now, but eventually in time they're going to have to put that there for players to be able to save the galaxy. They're going to have to
Save
be
the
able to
galaxy.
do that.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Radium. Hey, Wastelander. Yeah, the whole sea wasn't meant for ground locations. That's true. That's very true. But the whole sea can land once its spindles are retracted. Okay. For it to carry cargo, you have no choice but to bring out those spindles, and it has to be brought up to a shipping area, right, where it transfers its cargo, right? No matter what, to be
That's correct.
loaded and to be sold. So that takes care of that particular issue. It's just that you're going to have to put those components on a ship on a whole sea that's docked, that's dry docked, not dry docked, but docked at a place. You you can't do it anywhere else. In Orison, they have to give that functionality there. You get where I'm going? You have to be able to load that ship at Orison, right? Say your components are there at on Orson. You're going to have to undock the ship, or unstore it. It's got to be docked, right? You're going to move it to a location to transfer your cargo just like you do at a station, and then fly up, right? Go to a station, or your particular space station or whatever. If you, when we get base building, dock the ship in an area just like we're doing at the LOD at the main stations now. Same principle, right? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
What about those? Just taking the whole sea, you can hover in place, and you can have those MVP ships or whatever they're called. One
Yeah.
has cargo transfer, one has a tractor beam. They do the actual transport from ground to your ship, and then once they're done, you're off.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we there's so many different ways to think about this, but to be totally fair, you have to. A whole sea is a very different animal from every other ship that's out there.
Well, wait till the whole E comes out.
But I'm just saying, you got to. Orson has to be able to have a spot where it does the auto loading and unloading, right?
Yeah, it's a separate. Yeah, you just like any other station, it has that extended arm or docking port that comes out, and then it does what it does.
And then once it's loaded on Orson from the things that you want to put on that ship, it's going to fly up to a place where you are going to be able to work on your ship and get it together. And you're going to do the exact same thing. It's going to transfer the cargo or whatever. Either you do it manually with MPVs or however you want to do it.
Yeah, I was looking for that name, MPUV tractor ship. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Orison isn't meant for whole sea loading, unloading, just like Area 18 isn't meant for that. Excuse me.
exactly.
It's not
But the
there yet.
spaceport above is.
Right.
So
But once say you build a station above Crusader, okay? You build a station above Crusader, right? Your supplies have got to come from somewhere. So they're going to have to give that functionality on Orson to do that. And just like Area 18, Area 18 doesn't have the capabilities for a whole sea. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things that are going around on this one. And feel the other system stations are going to be more hull friendly, Castra, Terra, etc. Orson equals Area 18 equals Lorville equals New Babbage. Right. The landing
and good luck.
location the landing locations do not are not hull sea friendly. Only the
Right.
stations. Only the stations.
Good
Tone?
luck in Pyro.
I'm not even gonna touch that one. Tone, I mean, you brought it up. Let's talk it out some more. I mean, it is an issue that CIG is gonna have to think of, right? Cargo ship docks at ports, then 18 whalers carry the cargo inland. We don't have cargo ship docking. Yeah,
Well, it'll put a use for those MPUVs and other ships that can transfer cargo, and it'll get that economy working because that's all they do. They go up and down, up and down. They could do it all day.
I mean, it is something that needs to be considered, but we're not there yet. It's not there yet. Supplies go from Seraphim to Orison with large and medium cargo ships, right? But the whole sea is not is Orison is a more whole sea friendly uh, area than New Babbage or Lorville or Area 18 because it's platforms. So if they put the functionality for Orson there, it would work. Just my thought.
Yeah, just a new section.
Yep. Tone, your thoughts. Anybody else got any questions, comments about this particular thing? I mean, it's a big subject. It's a big
It's highly
thing.
speculative at the moment. So
Yeah. There's a lot that could happen with that. The Drake Vulture beat the Argo Mole and took it. So now we've got the Prowler. I think it's what is it? It's Alien Vehicles Division. Okay. Cargo platform, highly possible. But I mean, it's a massive discussion point. There's a lot of ways that it could be done. A lot of things that can be talked about, changed, that CIG needs to think about with the whole C. Maybe
well,
the
it's not
gravity
just the
is
whole
too
sea.
much.
We need the economy to start moving modules or ships or interaction between stations and planet.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not knocking Tone's idea because it makes sense.
It's
But
valid. Yep.
you've got to have the functionality in that area to do it. And
All right. The
Orson, yeah, go ahead.
the danger of a living economy is the groups of people, and they are out there, that are going to take a single item in gross amounts to a single location for the highest profit and literally crash the economy in that location for that item.
Well,
Uh,
that's always, yeah, go ahead.
I know that, but that's where I'm going with this is an economy is based on demand,
Mm-hmm.
not availability.
Mm-hmm.
Availability determines the price. Demand determines a lot of other factors. Like, for instance, if I want to go get a brand new car and
Mm-hmm.
there's only one in the state, they can charge a lot because of low availability.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you go to sell it, you're buying it at a higher price because of the low availability, and you're having to sell it at a higher price.
Okay.
Thusly, you're evening things out. That's what I'm getting at. You can't simply buy the product at 100 and then sell it at 200. If there's only a limited amount of it, you're buying it at a much higher price. Thusly, you don't have this thing with people going, I'm going to go get 1,000 of these products and then dump them here, and then nobody else can dump anything here because it's full.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is a workaround. For every planet or station system where you have people setting up shops, you charge them for space and storage. And if you have way too much of one item and nothing selling, guess what? There's going to be a sale.
Yeah, I like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
an economy. You're discussing how economy works on the
Mm-hmm.
most basic levels.
Mm-hmm.
And
If
if a
Orson,
Star Citizen is a living economy, then those are factors that they're going to have to factor in.
if Orson can load, unload whole C's, then why not allow whole E's javelins to enter Orson atmosphere dock and auto load, unload,
Exactly. Yeah.
and
Yes.
that would negate the need for Seraph and
And the same with the
unbalance
Banyu.
Orson and the super city for all cargo.
Yeah. Same thing with the Merchant Man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many things Okay, Orson as a super city versus other cities. See, there's so many different things that could come from this, and it's very hard to know what
Well,
CIG has in mind for this type of thing. Okay, go ahead.
it's a basic thing. Like you set up an area where ships can dock, where they can do their commerce, and it's only for a limited time. And then off you go, and somebody else can rent that spot so they can do their limited sales. This way, they go from one planet to another planet if they have the actual dock facilities to incorporate that commercial enterprise.
Orson
So you're
can't be
talking about
special versus other cities. I'm sorry, I'm reading what they're saying. Uh
no, you're fine.
Orson can't be special versus other cities if you want balance. Very true.
Exactly. So have it on all the stations around each planet.
Well, the thing about, uh, let's say, for instance, I go to Microtech. You have that huge lake at New Babbage.
Hmm.
You just park on the lake.
Yeah, but
Over at,
they cut that out. Remember.
well, they cut out access to the ASOP. I mean, they cut out access to unloading and loading your freight. But if you're in a BMM, you park on the lake. All of a sudden, the only thing holding you back is people knowing about you being there.
Well, this is there's so many different ways for the BMM to be used. I mean, you have to land a ship in an open area for people to come on. You could do the invite people to the party to come to your hangar, okay? But if you want commerce from other players, you're gonna have to land that ship, right? And that's your shopping center because
I can see
it's
it.
got the bazaars and all like that. Same
Yeah, exactly.
with the Kraken
Yeah.
privateer, the exact same thing. You have to land a ship out in the open area, right?
I yeah, I could just see it now. It's parked there. You have all these little mall things coming up and the little stalls and flags fluttering in the wind and advertising from the city. Hey, it just landed. If you want to go extra shopping, uh, go this way. And it's got a safe area. It's got to be protected too.
Yeah, but you both get what I'm saying with that, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the way you have open commerce.
You can even have the MPUVs, the cargo one, the personnel one, where you can have your people pop in and they get transported to the area. Do your shopping. We'll
What
be
up, Doug?
right back.
Okay, now Radium brought up a good point. That's the limitation of the BMM. No hangars for shoppers to land. It has to land. Very true.
Yeah.
Privateer
Morning,
can do
Dagger.
commerce in space. BMM can't. You could do it, okay, with the BMM, but they have to park outside of the ship, right, in space. You have to be stationary for them to transfer over. Well, Super says, well, maybe there's a whole different trade mechanism that's not in place yet. That's true. The BMM has its limitation. It has to land, yes, where the privateer can be in space because it has docking, it has landing pads, I believe. I haven't looked at it for a long time, but yeah. What's up, Dyer?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, Shadow.
So,
Oh, not a lot. How's it going?
um,
Not much.
there's so many speculative things that could come from
Well, I remember
doing
looking at.
so many things. Go ahead, Everett.
I remember seeing with Star Citizen on these pictures where they have the C2 landed and everything's being put out into a community. And that's no different from from a merchantman landing or whatnot. Everybody's got their products to sell to communities that don't have access to
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. So,
Well, look at it like this, and this is where SC. I mean, there's people that don't want to fly ships. They want jobs at on the ground, right? So that's where the Banu Merchantman can land, right? Around an outpost or something like that, and people come and shop. All right. There's
engineers for one.
But I mean, this is there's so many possibilities that can come through commerce with the BMM, the privateer. The privateer can land as well, but the privateer can sell in space. Yeah. Crafted items are better than store items and will be more rare, I think. There's a comment from Radium I can't read right now. Hold on one second. If you're selling on a planet, why would anyone shop at a BMM or privateer, which may be more expensive versus the store than on the ground? Unless BMM privateer owners can obtain special pricing from suppliers. Uh, See, there's so many different things about the economy that could come up. I mean, the economy is one of the hardest animals to figure out, but it's speculative.
Okay, well, in this video that they're saying, they're also bringing up docking. So what's stopping the merchantman being in an area that will allow a ship to go and dock to it? Therefore, they have permission to come into the ship, do the shop, and then out you go.
Good
So,
point. Very good point. Ship to ship docking. That's coming eventually. Okay? So that solves that with the merchantman. Okay? If it's got two airlocks on the side, on each side, one airlock on each side, then ships can dock to it. All right? Just saying. Any any thoughts on that, Tone?
Yes. My system froze up.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's an issue with Discord. Because it just froze up enough to make the odd noises.
Yeah, I heard it. But
Yeah. Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are different things that can come up. Uh Everett, your thought on the BMM with docking?
that'll settle the problem about people having access to the ship. You're docked. You're locked.
Mm-hmm.
Cause trouble. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Uh, like I say, there's so many different things. I agree with you, Radium. If the store item is equivalent to the store bought, then I'll just use the store. You can, but crafted items are going to be everything's going to be rated. I think when that comes, or crafted. I mean, it's just it. There's so many different things. Yeah, that reminds me, I need to refill my coffee. uh,
What about that ship that can ram into another ship and then they can hack it? I forget what it's called.
the Legionnaire.
Legionnaire. So imagine it'll merchantmen getting hit with one of those, and then there's a hacking gameplay in there as well, but that's not out yet, so it's just speculation. But back to the economy, there's got to be a lot of stuff that everybody can help generate that economy in game as it grows.
Okay, sorry about that. Had to get some coffee. All right.
No worries. Welcome back.
Thank you. Okay. I mean, this is a good conversation. This is a good conversation. Yeah, Legionnaire will be interesting, but it will need support chips to do the hacking. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tone, more thoughts.
Distracted currently.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
I'm
you're fine.
currently clearing the cache in Discord.
No worries. Okay. Next thought.
Mm-hmm. Nothing. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Dar. You got something to say?
Oh no, I was no, I was talking to my son, but no, the BMM, I can't wait. I mean, I think that the BMM is gonna be a very interesting ship. I mean, yeah, it would be. I mean, I'm more of a loot goblin, and when I think of the Kraken, shopping ship, and then the BMM. I mean, that's going to be one of places that I'll probably sell my particular loot at, of course, at a higher price. Particular loot meaning hard to get items. One of you guys has one of the other ships. I mean, I'll just bring crate in there. Most likely put in a elevator sense container unit, and then I log into a terminal on one of those crafts, and then I decide on what item pricing I want to put on it. And then on the BMM, I don't think it's gonna be a space mall in space. I think it's gonna be more of a traveling, like it says, a merchantman. So it's
Yeah,
gonna be going to me. To me, it's gonna be more of a
place to
you
place to
know
place type of ship.
place, yeah. And then and of course, they want to make the commerce work and the currency work for the whole system. So, hey, if you want to sell at this location, it's going to cost you, certain amount SU for a certain time window, and you won't be bothered, you won't be bombed. You'll Armistice is going to be around you until this time frame, and then after that, then it's up to you if you want to pay more, or if you want to leave, you leave. And
Mm-hmm.
then when it comes to internal working for the BMM, if I'm not mistaken on some sketches and some thoughts on the development of the BMM, there is going to be like if anybody hassles anything, I think there's an inside turret
Mm-hmm.
in the shopping center.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, but as for the for the Kraken, that's more of a just on the go wherever I perch up. I have, PDCs, I have turrets, I have crafts. So anybody wants to mess with me, you could take your chances. But I mean, I think that's more of a floating space station mall to me,
Well, it
and it's
is.
probably
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably gonna have the same internals. I'm thinking that, if somebody wants to sell their precious gems or crafted materials or craft materials or this, you know, extremely legendary firearm that's so rare that, it's gonna be costing, 50 million, it's this person could just sell it there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh.
Darius brought up a good point about the renting the spot, and you're allowed to be there. But I played this game called X4 Foundations, and X game, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
On certain stations, you can rent an advertising billboard. At the same time, in Star Citizen, they have announcements inside the station. So why not have a generic announcement that's produced by CIG that will say, "Hey, the merchantman is landing at this date, and they'll have their wares for sale. You can meet them at this area," and leave it
Mm-hmm.
at that.
Mm-hmm.
But you pay for that advertising. That should be also included within that price of the rental of that space.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this way, people know you're there.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many possibilities that could come about with this type of game loop that is more of a sandbox game loop than others.
Searchlights with fireworks. We're over here.
But it is. It's if you think about it, it's a sandbox because you're you're a trader. You're flying that ship to this place, right? And you say, "Okay, I'm going to sell in this place." That's a sandbox. Or maybe you'll be able to post a message in Mobiglass to sell wares, etc. Yeah. Once the Mobiglass has the social media, the social thing in there, um, I think that will be a high possibility of it. So, I mean, we could go on for hours just on this subject alone. You know, uh, my thought.
Well, at least a 10-cup jug of coffee for sure.
Well, I've got that.
The amount of BMMs will be crazy. A lot of these ships were designed around 100 systems, and we're getting 5 for now, which will make a lot of these ships lose their value for some.
Yay,
Yes.
sales!
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
Yep. That's
So,
why I like the idea of the merchantman being a org ship,
oh, it has
where a
to
single
be.
organization owns it, not just a mere person that can afford it.
Well, this, okay. Org ships, okay? That's where the org bank comes in.
Yes.
And that ship has to be bought by the org and it belongs to the org, not just one person. You get what you all get where I'm going.
Mhm.
All right. Now I got to add to this. If there's 5 people in our organization, just keeping the numbers even. I know that's inaccurate. All right. That ship would need to be manned most of the time, if not all of the time, in order for it to work correct, according to how Star Citizen architecture is working.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now what
It,
we would have to do is schedule
yeah.
when someone is actually on that ship and maintaining that ship and its sales and replenishing
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
order to move on in wow.
Okay.
I just went back into
I can just see 2 merchantmen fighting it out. I'm gonna remove my competition. Boom!
Oh my God.
there it is. Yeah, that's where I want to go. All right. The what I'm getting at is if it has to be a manned ship,
Mm-hmm.
then there has to be a schedule surrounding who mans the ship.
Yes.
So that would create org logistics, which
Well,
would be a
yeah.
good thing for a lot of organizations because there's I'm just saying, my first org was the most unorganized, oh my God, I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying this one is, I'm just putting it out there. If we got, let's just say a group of people that are young, teens, 20s, they get into an org, they want to buy this and make all this free money. That's fine. That's good. That's what it's there for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, their organizational skills got to be on point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm getting at. We're gonna, if this ship has to be able to sit there, it can only be there for an hour because that's how long you can rent the slot for,
Mm-hmm.
which is sounds right to me. Then you got to take off. Where do you store this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you park it? Where do you? I mean, if you leave it in orbit, it then becomes a massive target.
Right. See, there's pros and there's cons to it, as with everything. So that has to be organized, that has to be set up, and if you want to make really good profit with that ship, it would have to be out practically 24/7.
Right. But
So,
based on being able to park it only one place for an hour, paying rent to have it there, you're wanting to maximize profits, which I totally get under the Ferengi laws of acquisition. If it don't make a profit, we don't want nothing to do with it.
Not to mention how many people based on the planet on that server.
Right. So you get in there, we'll just go for the typical Star Citizen issues that happen every day. I'm in there, I'm buying me a brand new suit of armor that Fire decided he was going to go loot, which is all. I don't care how it got there. I'm buying it because I want that armor.
mm-hmm.
All right. And the system freezes up, crashes, or there's a server error. How do I recoup my loss?
that
And
that is
you know,
something that we take a chance with all the time.
I know that, but I'm just posing these questions because if I can think of it, somebody else is going to also.
Well, of
And then there's
course.
going to be a way to gain the system. Because if I know how to crash the server, which there are ways, then at what point do I say, okay, person X, I'm fixing to go buy 14 suits. I need you to crash the server right now. And I get those suits in my possession. So it crashes. Y'all don't get paid. You know, the story goes on.
Well, that's an
Just
exploit. That's an exploit.
that's what I'm getting at. There are dedicated groups. That's what they look for.
Right.
But where I'm coming from, this isn't going to be a safe bet. This isn't going to be a reliable option. This is going to be a take a chance, roll the dice thing, which I kind of understand and I get. My whole point in going here is I'm pulling our merchantman into brand new station over in Pyro. I have to have onboard protection because, you know, it is what it is. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's there for.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I got more than I thought.
But
So
go on.
where I'm ending at the end of the day, where I'm going with all this is pretty straightforward. Everything's a gamble in Star Citizen.
Yep. Because
And
anything can happen.
Could be a feature.
Correct. It's not broken. It's a feature. It's correct. So at the end of the day, we have our merchantman. We have our shops on it, which we pay our shopkeepers. Then we have our loot that we gather, and then we sell straight from our holding area.
Or we craft what we want to sell Go ahead. Yeah.
Correct. All right. We park it there for an hour. We pay the system. We pay the local area, the station, say 100,000 credits. Howdy. To park there for an hour. Then we have to recoup that 100,000 credits just to
Mhm.
make a profit
Mm-hmm.
on parking. Then we have to recoup our cost of the various people that are in there selling goods, our merchants.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be systems where that money's not going to be there. So
True.
you have to then go for the high inventory systems like, say, Terra or any other really high industrial state systems
Mm-hmm.
where there's money.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But it
going to
also
make
could,
these.
sorry,
Go ahead.
it could also be offset from that station if they're controlled by a particular group, like the headhunters or the other team, where they
That's
say, no, we'll provide you protection even though that you're going to be here because we need the business. We need you to be here to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, sure, you get the 100,000, but we will add in the protection.
I like
Mm-hmm.
that,
Well,
especially since the ship is going to be large enough to park outside.
but
Exactly.
you have to have the security to protect your investment.
But all well and good, we get all that taken care of. We have the rep with the station or group, which is awesome. And we start making money.
Mm-hmm.
This money goes into the org bank.
Mm-hmm.
What is this money going to be used for? And the reason why I'm going here with it is there's always going to be a person or people or group that's like, I want this ship. I
Mm-hmm.
think we should spend this money this way. Think of it as an HOA.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, then the org leader or the group of people determining how funds are spent, the accountants in the organization have to then determine the priority of what needs to be bought with that cash. God, that was convoluted. Sorry.
No, but it's a very valid point. You have to think of what is going to profit the org. Okay? Plain and
Yeah.
simple. And it's not it's something about the economy. The economy is always going to be there no matter what you do. You have to you I mean, you take that ship out, you go to a place that doesn't have a lot of resources, okay? Or a
Uh-huh.
lot of things that you're going to make a profit. But you're going to have to think of I got to pay for protection, okay? I got to pay for the space. I have to have certain prices for certain things that are crafted are going to be probably better than what's bought in stores. So you have to make a profit on that, on those particular items and stuff. So you're going to have to raise the price on it, right? So you can come away with more than what you spent.
Well, this is where I see a way around what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. I'm just going to caveat that with a simple fix. Lorville does not sell weapons. You gun down there and you got weapons out the wazoo. All of a sudden there's a market for these weapons. See where I'm going?
Yeah, that
What if it's prohibited?
I mean, okay, this is something that I brought up a while ago. When certain weapons were taken out of the stores and they put them out there in the loot pool, right?
Uh,
This is where the black market comes in.
well, essentially a BMM is a black market.
I'm just saying, right?
Legal though.
But you get what I'm saying. There's
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying.
there's people out there that go in and make the risk to go get these things, right? And then sell them
Yeah,
at a profit for themselves, right?
that's right. Yes.
So it it's a black market.
Yeah.
So yeah, almost need a bigger org. Yeah, Gortok, that's you're right, but you don't want it so big that we don't know who's who, and you know, I, it's a very complicated thing. Organizations are very complicated. I mean, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, but organized, and it can be very difficult for that to come about because
All
of
right.
the way things go. Go ahead.
This is how I would start this gameplay loop. You don't go straight to a merchant man. You go to, let's just say you have a freelancer max. Yeah, it's awesome. It's got one stall for this, that, and the other in the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same instance, what you're doing is you rent that stall out to a merchant. That then becomes his stall. He pays you to
For
keep
the
it going
space. Yeah.
for the space. Then you're taking this one ship all over creation as your store.
Well, I'm going to say this: you have to start small. You cannot go big right off the bat.
That's what I'm getting at. And by doing that, what you are essentially, at the end of the day, what you end up with is the start of a gameplay loop that is manageable. You learn the ins and outs of the gameplay loop itself. You're
Mm-hmm.
not investing essentially more money than common sense into the game loop. And if you don't like it, you've not lost that much. You've got a small ship, one vendor, some goods, and you find out what works and what doesn't. I
You can,
like that
yeah.
as a starting point.
Well, you have to.
There's
I mean,
there's another angle you can use for the Burnett merchant man is that they can come there to sell stuff, but they're also to buy resources. The local miners or salvagers can provide a lot of materials that they can't get at another planet.
mm-hmm. You
Yes.
can you can tell CIG is having issues with the economy. They're having the same question, of course. I mean,
There again, if we can think of it, somebody else is too.
yeah. But I mean, when I when 1.0 starts, okay, and I've always said this, there are certain ships that I will have when 1.0 jumps off. And you have to start small. You cannot start huge. If you do, you're going to run out of money in a heartbeat. And that's why I have certain ships to start with and build up to, and then go on and go on and go on. But it takes time. Base building is going to take time, especially if you want a space station. That's going to take a lot of resources, a lot of time. And I mean, look at all the resources that we're going to need to build a space station, right? It's going to take a long time. Go ahead.
Who?
Yeah,
Who?
you.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, though.
Everett?
No, I'm pretty quiet right now too.
Okay.
We appreciate the props on that, but
I mean, I'm just saying it's going to take a lot of time, and that has been my strategy once I started the game. I know there's a ship that I want to utilize, but I need the starter ships to get to that point. So that's how I look at it. That's how I planned on doing things to build enough money in the game with the economy and profit. But it's gonna take a minute. It's not gonna be one of those instantaneous things that people think it's going to be. It's not gonna be that way. Just saying. Even for like test squadron, space stations will be a massive undertaking since it's end game stuff. Agreed. There's orgs out there that got thousands of people, right? Like Nova Squadron, Test Squadron, all those that have thousands. They've been out there for a long time. They have tons of people. And it's still going to take a minute. Anybody else got any thoughts, questions about this particular subject? Because we're in an hour and 16 minutes on just
Wow.
this subject alone.
Wow,
Okay?
that's impressive.
I mean, it is. This particular subject is huge on in how we're going to get the modules, and once we get to the point where we're going to have to move things from one area to another, it's a large undertaking. All done. Next topic. What about the refueling aspect? Oh, as we all know, they did state that the Polaris and the Idris are going to have repair and refuel. So that's coming. I couldn't say when. I don't know. I don't know when that's going to drop. But that's going to be a big thing for especially the Idris when you have multiple ships in that hangar area to repair and refuel. Now, rearming ammo and stuff like that, that's not there yet. And we all know that people want to manually reload ammunition on ships. So that's going to come. But I couldn't tell you when. Next topic. Anybody got anything that they want to particularly talk about with the SCL?
Did they talk about tents? I'm pretty sure they mentioned tents.
No, that's probably going to come. I couldn't say when, but
Okay, but I thought I covered it.
but I thought that uh that would be another subject on this. This was about ships, though.
Yeah, but it was a bed logging that they're going to take out. So if they land a ship and they have a tent, could they be on the ground in the tent, or can they sleep on the ship? But they can't bed log.
Well, okay. If the bed logging is going to go away, okay, there's going to have to be some type of manually change out missile rack. That could be, yeah. That's highly possible. I mean, the VLM can do so much, but don't play with my emotions over it. About the tents and stuff. Go ahead.
Can I interject on the bed logging?
Yeah.
If I'm in a BMM and this is my home base, I have to be able to bed log.
You wouldn't have to bed log. You could be
if
near
it's your home base. Yes.
Yeah. Correct. What I'm saying is I have to designate it as my respawn point, as my home base.
Yeah. You would have to set a spawn point there. Yeah.
Correct. But the thing of it is, if I can't bed log, even though my spawn point's at Orison, and I'm in a ship in the middle of Pyro, then if I reset to my spawn point, my BMM's in Pyro, but I am now at Orison because that's my spawn point. They
You
have
would,
to fix that.
well, that's the thing about ship logging. Okay. When it's a privately owned ship, okay, and that person logs out, you log out on that ship. When that person logs out, you're automatically reset back, right?
I hope.
Well, no, you're automatically reset back to your home base when that person logs
Yes.
out of that private ship.
Correct.
Okay. Now we've covered this a lot before, and when you're a crew member on a ship, right? They're going to have to fix it to where if you're in that party that's on that ship, right? And you say you bedlog on that ship, right? It's you're a party member. You should be able to log back on that ship without the captain being there, without the person being there. It's a party
right.
ship, but that's
Correct.
going to
Now,
be an org thing. Go ahead.
bringing back another question. The Carrack is supposed to be a deep space exploratory expedition ship.
Mm-hmm.
Exploratory. Now, there's 5 of us on this ship, minimum crew to run it.
Yeah.
We are way outside of any sectors of controlled space, according to Star Citizen's in-game approach of having massive number of systems.
Yeah.
You have to be able to have exploratory features in game, otherwise the ship is useless.
Right.
There has to be a log in and out feature or a bed log feature text attached to that ship because you got that's time. That's a time sink right there to go out of system and travel in a direction looking for unexplored regions for resources.
Right.
And that's essentially what you're doing. You don't want to look at a pretty picture. You can pull up the internet and do that. You're looking for in-game resources that can be sold for a profit. That's the in-game is money.
Yeah.
So I disagree with bed logging, but I see that they gotta go a different direction. I think that's just my thoughts.
Well,
you could have. Sorry. Go ahead.
or Gortok just brought up a point. If it's an org owned ship, all should be able to log out and
Right.
log back into that ship. Go ahead.
I was going to mention that in the current party, the party is registered to the ship registry or whatever, so you can log in and out multiple times, depending on how if the ship is located in a spot.
I'm enjoying this conversation, but I need to drop. I will talk to you gentlemen later.
All right,
All right,
man.
have a good one.
Have a good one.
Yep.
But
Unless a madman in your party decides to take that ship and ram it into the ground, blow it up or something, then you're all sent back to your bases.
Yeah, but you see where it's going. It has to be an org owned ship. It cannot be a privately owned ship.
Well, it could be privately owned as long as the party members are registered on that MFD.
Okay.
Put it that way. The current party members can go log in, log out.
That makes sense. I agree with that.
Thank you. I don't like to be senseless.
Okay. Anybody got anything else about this particular subject? Because we could go on for a long time with this one too. We didn't check out the video, but it's just stuff that is coming up with ships in general, features that are coming, things talked about, and I mean, there's a lot. there is a lot that could go on with this particular subject. Anybody from the YouTube chat got anything that they want to bring up?
They did mention the digital event that's coming up. Anything further on what they said? Because I did watch the video, just forgot about it.
The
You know what's
digital.
coming up?
No, I don't. Not as far as like what subjects are coming. I have no idea at this point. Because it could be a lot of different things.
It's been a rough year for Jared.
Jared did say that there's going to be a lot of ships at IE.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. They mentioned that there's no more concepts. They just want to work on the current ships to get them out.
Yes.
And I totally agree with that.
Yes.
Push them to all flyable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jared lost some serious weight.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, all in all, state of the game. This is a subject that I always talk about during the week.
It's improving.
State of the game with this new patch. I know we've encountered some things. I know I've encountered some things. I've gotten some 30Ks, but that could be from my internet conking out and stuff like that. Has anybody encountered a 30K?
No, not me.
Okay. Anybody in the YouTube chat? Have you encountered 30s? Or anything like that? I know that some of the elevators that I've encountered have had some issues where cargo's been stuck in it, and you were able to, if you encounter that elevator, what I've done, and I know it's not the greatest workaround, server errors only. I've encountered that too, where I had to bedlog and go to another server. You don't really lose the contract, and you come back and the elevator's clear. I've had to server hop a few times to get a working elevator in specific areas. I've had a few server errors, like one day I was on my way back from selling, and Everett seen the video result of what happened. I was flying, and all of a sudden I died in quantum.
Oh yes.
And it was weird. I died in quantum. I flew back to the ship in a cutter, and this was around Crusader. I flew back to the ship. I was able to get to the ship, but the ship was in atmosphere, and I fell to my death trying to get back on the ship. But I didn't think about the gravity, and that was my own fault.
Darn that gravity.
Yeah, but that's what I've encountered. I mean,
a perfect time for a jetpack, that's for sure.
Definitely. Other than that, I have had no major issues. Now, I have been going down to the ASD facilities a lot. Dyer showed me something yesterday about the core, and I didn't know this, and thank you, Dyer, for showing me that.
No, you're welcome.
Super, and And Gortok and everybody, if you want to go through that again, I know where this area is, and it it's worth the adventure. Okay, just gonna say that it's worth the adventure. Um, other than that, I love the ASD, the Onyx facilities. They're a lot of fun. Um, there's always something new when you're down there, and there is a hauling mission. And Everett told me about it, and I found it yesterday. There's a hauling mission with Redwind Everett, I think it was, and you can actually get hauling missions to the ASD facilities
Mm-hmm.
and adventure from there. So you can do it that way. Um, I just enjoy those facilities. They're a lot of fun. They're interesting. There's always something new to find. Um, I haven't even gone through the whole levels of the research area yet, so there's more stuff to find there. And Super and I, when they first dropped, we went through quite a few places and found some stuff. But the loot for the Geist is random. Um, you can find backpacks in one area. You can find chest arms and helmets in other areas and stuff like that. I mean, once you get a full set, you can take that to Wicklow and upgrade it. But isn't there more stuff to go along with that, Dyer, to get the next special set?
So to get the snow set camo is the core is only in the engineering where I showed you where that little spot last night. That's where you
Yeah,
get the cores at.
right,
Research it carries the backpack, helmets, and arms and legs.
right.
So but yeah, so when you turn in the full set ASD with backpack and everything else, you do have to have 10 of those ASD drives that you get rewarded as
Okay,
well. So a full set with backpack and 10 ASDs that will get you the full set of the snow camel. And then if you want the sniper bolt, you need the um, the basic one that you find around a lot, the blue one,
mm-hmm.
with another 10 drives. So the sniper rifle basic and 10 drives.
Okay, okay. Last
I'm
night,
more
I'm gonna say this. Last night, I found the lightning uh sniper rifle, the gray one.
oh, the Thunder?
Yeah, that one. I found it
Thunder
last
Strike.
night.
Yeah, I just found it right now.
and, and I put that right in my inventory when I got back. So, uh, there's
And just to
yeah,
let you guys know as well, I mean, the ASD armor is hard to find, but if you're lucky enough, like I just got lucky with the arm and legs right now, you could definitely get it.
oh yeah, oh yeah. They're not easy to find, but at the very end, down in the research area, those orange boxes. That's where you can find uh either helmets or backpacks. I
Yep.
I found that. So the other ones I'm still hunting for. But anybody else got any questions, comments about anything in 4.3 or the ship showdown, uh, the SCL that we didn't go
I,
through?
I
Hey,
enjoyed the
Scott.
SCL video.
Oh, the SCL video was good. What's going on, Scott? But that's all I have. This, like I said, this was the state of the game and talk about the SCL and different things like that. Like I say, didn't show the video, but there's a lot of good information, and I'm very happy with the way the game is running right now. Last month was pretty rough. Just gonna say it. And I'm still working on Crusader to finish that up, and gonna try and get a little bit on R-Corp, and then hopefully there a major difference between both versions of the Apollo? Yes, the triage has missiles. The medevac does not, as far if I'm correct. But the components are the modules and everything like that are the same. The armament is different on the triage compared to the medevac. Um, anything else that you can come up with, Everett?
Yeah, there was one thing, but
Shoot.
what they're taking out the regeneration in certain ships again. They're taking that out, but when they bring in the Apollo, that'll come in. Would the Terrapin still have that functionality?
The Terrapin is a tier 2 bed.
Okay, so it's tier 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So it would just be the Apollo and the Carrack and the 890 jump, I believe.
The
That would have
Polaris,
generation and the Polaris, right?
and also the Idris. I believe
Right.
they're the same size, Scott. I don't think there's any changes in the size of the ship. I have to look, but I don't think there's any changes in that. So that's another good point that Everett brought up about the changes in the regen. So since the Apollo is coming, there I believe the C8R, the medevac, and the Cutlass Red, those beds are going to be tier 3, and you will not be able to regen.
That's all right. It puts us back in ambulance mode, stabilize and transport.
Mm-hmm. Now I don't know if when this is going to change, but it's coming maybe. And Artec brought up a good point about the regen goo. If you looked at the sneak peek, they're talking about recharging stations, and the goo is going to be there, and we're going to have to buy it, or we're going to have to find resources to make it.
Or you can just get the insurance.
Oh, the TAC. Yes, the TAC. No worries, Wastelander. The TAC.
Yeah, right. The TAC has
tier 2 beds.
All right, shut up. Catch you guys later.
All right, take
Later,
it easy,
guy.
Dar. Thanks for the info, man.
Hey, oh, no problem. What else do you need for your ASD full loadout?
I need legs and a helmet.
All right, let me see what I can do.
And I need a backpack. I got to get a backpack. Or I think I have one. I have to look.
All right. All right, I'll look for it.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, the TAC, that has a tier 2 bed. So, yeah, that's going to be another thing. The regens were nice with the tier 3s, but now that looks like that's going to change. So, the medevac is gonna be, I guess it's gonna be a tier 3 bed only. No regen. But
I like the TAC.
But if you look in the medevac, right? There should be hello subtext. The medevac, I believe, has the console. I think all beds will respawn. It could be. If you look inside the medevac, there should be under the console. There should be the area for the goo, and also in the C8R. I have to go into that and look, because if those have the regeneration, the tier levels will only determine the amount of regens each bed is capable before needing a recharge of goo. Okay, I'll go along with that, Radium.
Mhm. I don't even know what the goo is, but go on.
Well, it's the regenerative material, and that's you're going to have to keep it up and recharge it so you can have that functionality for the bed to work. So that is going to make a big difference. Um, Anybody else got any thoughts about that? I mean, Radium brings up a very valid point, and so did Artec about the goo eventually coming, and it looks like it's going to come because you're going to have to recharge those stations, and I think that's going to be something with the medical gameplay.
You know what would be really good is if we salvage, if a ship gets destroyed and we salvage it, could we also get the goo?
That could be a high possibility.
It would be a good thing to have. Yep, we can do that.
So, anybody else got any stuff from the YouTube chat about this? I mean, that's going to change medical gameplay totally. Uh, I mean, you're driving around in the medevac. You get killed in a bunker, you could regen back into it. But if you don't have any goo, you're stuck. You're gonna have to respawn somewhere else. I mean, it's gonna change. That's gonna change the gameplay totally for
It'd be nice.
beds. Yeah.
It'd be nice to take the data records of anybody who has logged on there to regen, and then you let's say let's say the Headhunters Guild gets a hold of it, and they can just save that regen spot. So when you do die, you can be redirected to them and going, "Hello, worker."
But see, I'm gonna say this, Everett. When they brought out Stormbreaker, right? People were sitting there waiting for people to regen and then kill them and then do all this stuff. That's why
Yeah, I know.
that's why they changed it. And
Hmm.
if they do it that way, where you can go in and change somebody's spawn point, that's not good. Uh,
Yeah, true.
or
But
mine for. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Hey, Billy's Brew. Or mine for raw resources that gets refined into med goo. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
that's
good
good.
point too. Yeah. So it all depends on what you're going to do. Yeah. I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. But that's gonna make a big difference. And
I'm doing better, just suffering from agony of defeat.
Everett. Oh, that's a good point. You can mine and make your own goo. What do you think, Everett? Go out mining, make your own goo, refine it, and
Hmm.
make it yourself.
Yep.
That'll be a good mining thing. So we don't know. We don't know. Any other thoughts, comments, questions about it? I mean, we're at 1 hour and 45 minutes into the Snowbirds meeting room today. Uh, I think I think this conversation was good. The uh, topics were good. Anybody have anything else that they want to add before
Yeah,
I
one
close
thing.
it out? Yep, go ahead.
The goo that you refined, it's going to have to be at a percentage of the materials, like for quality. Like if you use, less than good quality goo, you're going to wake up in bed with missing a leg or something.
I'm gonna need a full 8 SCU box of goo. Any big graphic updates plans? Uh, Scott, the tech preview showed that Vulkan is going to be the default, and that you could switch back to DX11. So there's more to it. Also, helmets. The box is going away. Your helmet can be placed on your belt. So that's coming. There's some more stuff. It will for sure help with the med orgs and that gameplay. They will have more ships to work with. Tier 1 may be more efficient at respawns, but maybe less efficient at healing. Tier 1 or Tier 3? Tier 3 and Tier 2, nice middle ground. Respawn using cheap pyro goo will be sure. Problem missing an arm or leg. Oh, okay. That's a possibility. I mean, there's so much to go around on that. I mean, but yeah, pyro goo is orange. It smells funny. Oh my god, that's funny. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that could come about with those, and I just think that at this point, we'll see what happens when 4.3 comes, 431 comes out with the Apollo, which is slated for next month. Not sure when next month, but it is coming. Hey, Lone,
Good morning.
how you
Yeah,
doing?
alone.
Not too bad. How's everyone else?
All right. Uh, any other questions, comments, or thoughts about what is coming with the new Apollo or medical gameplay or ships? Pyro goo made with questionable water. Interesting. um, there's a lot of different things that could come about with all the different possibilities of refining, going out mining, and bring back goo or bring back the stuff to make goo. You get a smell attached to you. Oh, that kind of sucks, Everett. I wouldn't want that. Lone, I know it's Monday for you. How you doing?
Good. Yep. Kirsty's off to work, sadly, so
Yeah.
you just gonna have to put up with me.
Okay. C nut goo. Wow. Bad smell equals higher prices with the merchants.
What am I missing here? I've obviously come into a conversation midway.
You're in the Snowbirds meeting room. Welcome. And
Oh, okay.
I'm streaming right now the Sunday show. So,
Oh, sorry.
oh no, you're fine. You're fine. You're welcome. Uh, Lone, as a player that had been in for a while and stopped and came back in, and you brought your wife along with you.
Hmm.
the state of the game right now at this point with this patch.
Ah,
How is it better than what you used to go through? I
definitely a
mean,
lot better. I mean, it's a lot better now that things are definitely more persistent. So you're not having to, like, every time you restart, you don't have to go back and get your armor or your gun. I mean, you still have to get ammo and food and stuff, but it's a lot better than having to go through all your armor stuff. So big improvement on that.
mm-hmm,
Um, I think they're trying to introduce more things, which is good.
mm-hmm,
However, I'm still, and I think everybody is still frustrated with their, I don't know whether it's their testing phase or they're not quite, it's kind of like they're putting all this stuff together. They haven't really thought about the mechanics of it, and they just kind of throw it at us and see how it works, which I kind of understand that, but from a player's perspective, it can be very frustrating because, you know, we're facing every single bug that comes along,
mm-hmm.
um, and it delays a whole lot of things. So I think there's a lot of good and bad going on. Um, is the game progressing? I think it is
Mm-hmm.
a little faster than it was,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm still learning, so everything's still, some things are still very new to me. Um, so I'm still learning. I'm still probably finding stuff out about the game that that others know that I don't. So from that sort of perspective, going away from what it was and coming back to where it is now, I would say yes, big improvement. Um, but having said that, with caution, and I don't mean any respect, but sometimes Star Citizen stalls.
Mm-hmm.
They get to a certain point, they bring something out, and everything just goes quiet for a while, and we're all wondering what's going on. So I'm hoping we're not going to see more of that.
Well, okay. Excuse me. With the open development, as much as they give us, I can only give the information that I get
Yep,
from CIG.
yep,
And I try to be accurate with it
yep,
because me myself, I can speculate all day like we all can.
hmm yep,
But until we hear it from CIG what they're doing and how they're working things, you know,
hmm
we have to go with what they give.
yep, yep. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think my personal view on that is I think they need to be a little more, I'm not going to say transparent, but I think they need to be a little bit more, give more information, because they kind of give us like little bits,
Mm-hmm.
like it's a big secret.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which I think whereas a lot of the frustration comes in because they're bringing the stuff out, and I don't think we're really given all the information that we need
Mm-hmm.
or should be given.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, okay, we've got this new thing. What are we doing? We read stuff, but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't quite feel like the information they always give out is complete.
Mm.
That's just my personal opinion.
Well, CIG does do this. They'll throw in something that we don't know and we find out.
Right, right, yep,
And
yep,
it's like, wait a minute. Okay.
right.
There is a hidden mechanic that I did not know about a med bed.
Oh,
And
okay,
somebody told me about it and I was like, "Wait a minute. What?" Okay.
right.
Somebody made a video on this just recently. And
hmm
there is a way to drag a player to a med bed, right? And pick them up and lay them on the med bed.
Right,
And I didn't know it. And
right.
I was like, wait a minute. how long has this been here? Right? So it's a secret little mechanic that nobody said anything about or
Right.
people didn't know.
But we've
And
been using the tractor beam.
exactly. Exactly. But there is a way to pick up a character at a med bed and lay them on the med bed. I actually saw somebody do it. They did it to me on stream because I was incapacitated, and Sentinel Wolf, when he was with me, he picked me up off the floor and placed me on the med bed.
Well, hang on. We did that once in the hangar where we dragged a person and put him on top of the gurney and then put him in the elevator and got him to the med center.
That I didn't see that.
Oh.
I did not see that. So I didn't know. But there is a way to do it. So I have to actually see the mechanic myself because I've never done it. So, but
Yeah, I
anyway,
mean, I do
yeah.
think Star Citizen is definitely. It feels to me like things are finally moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that's been a big issue for a lot of people because there's been a lot of, waiting around. A lot of people have left for that very reason because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, they give us a little bit and it's broken,
Mm-hmm.
and then we've got to wait for the next patch or the next update. Um, and that's been going on for a very, very long time. And I'm not the earliest, you guys have been in here longer than me.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think, and it is a good game. I've got to be perfectly honest, I'm not a sci-fi person.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched Star Trek, I've watched Star Wars or whatever, but you try and quiz me on, most of the characters and their names or their positions or, what their uniforms or whatever means. I have no clue. I've just watched them, so,
Right.
and I love Star Citizen, I really do, and I think it's got a lot of potential. And I'm really looking forward to what's coming out in the future if they bring out what they say they're going to bring out, and I think they need to do it in a timely manner, though.
Mm.
I think they need to be doing this in a quicker time frame than the way that they've been doing it.
Well,
That's
I'm going to say this. Last year, we only had a certain amount of patches when they were bringing out features, and the
Yep.
features would break things.
Yep.
Okay, this year they've been talking about more uh, content and playability and stability,
Right.
and we've gotten a lot of patches this year so far.
Yep. Yep.
Um, give me 1 second. Radium says, I believe that's been around for a while. You used to use it in the hangar onto the hospital gurney. I've never seen it, Radium, until uh just recently. Ladder traversing is sure. Yeah, Scott, I do love the ladder mechanic. It's much better. You still get stuck every once in a while, but it is better. Um, I mean, there's so much. There's so much that has been done and changed and brought about that makes the game much better.
Yep.
But the next year, I don't. I'm not gonna say I know. This is my speculation. I think they're gonna slow down a little bit and get some mechanics in next
Right.
year.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I think a lot of it too. I think a bit of the frustration is that the fact that they're working on two games at the same time.
Well,
And
that's gonna change too because
right.
26, that is when we're supposed to see Squadron 42 released, but we don't know
Right.
when.
Right.
So
Although
that's going to make a
that
big
date's
difference.
moved a few times though too.
Yeah, but they actually gave a date. They didn't give a date. They gave the year.
Right. Okay. Well, that's yeah. That gives them
So
12 months.
mhm. And
But
1.0 in that report is stated
right,
that it will be dropped 1.0 either 27 or 28. So
right,
we can't. I mean, I'm just going with what information that I got. So
right.
we'll go from there.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
mhm.
from if someone asked me, should I play Star Citizen, my answer to that would be yes, because I think now is a good time to get involved with it.
Mhm.
But there is a big warning: is be prepared for a lot of frustration.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I tell people
so,
that all the time.
yeah,
When the game works, when the game is running well, it is a very enjoyable experience.
yeah,
I
yeah.
have always
And I
said
go,
that. Yeah.
yeah, and graphically wise, the game is amazing. I often I'm going through, and I remember when I first started playing, and I just used to walk through the stations, having a good look, looking at the wall textures, the floor textures, the detail, smoke coming out of certain grids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you've got the different type of surfaces, not everything's clean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, visually wise, it is a beautiful game, and they've done a tremendous job in the detail
Mm-hmm.
on that. So that's probably one of the big reasons why I keep playing. If it wasn't for the graphics, I don't know if I'd put up with all the frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I do say to people, look, it is worth looking at if you haven't played it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you haven't played it, I would wait till they have a free fly day.
Yep.
And I say that for many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I certainly wouldn't buy into a game without seeing how your game is going to handle Star Citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Because different PCs, some of them are going to work fine, others are going to struggle. Um, and obviously, because you need to pay to play Star Citizen, I do recommend that people wait until there's a free fly day for it.
Try it out.
Although,
See if you like
yep,
it. Yep.
yep. But yeah, I would say probably 8 out of 10 people are going to be hooked just by doing it, just by the graphics alone. I think it's definitely an amazing game. But yes, definitely let's hope we get a lot more content coming soon, and hopefully by the end of the year, I believe possibly. I think we're in for another solar system, aren't we? End of year. Did
Uh,
I hear that right from somebody?
Nix, but we're not sure when Nix is going to come.
Okay. I thought it
It
was the end of year.
it could, for all we know, it could drop at the end of the year. I don't know. Nobody knows.
Right.
Nobody knows. Now I'm speculating, just saying, but Nix is the next system to come, and we don't know when that's
Right.
going to come. The
Okay. I
most
thought they heard.
Scott said the most painful lesson I've ever learned in 13 years is don't spend more than $45 to $100 on the game. That way, there's nothing to regret.
Well, when you live in New Zealand and you have a currency exchange that you have to deal with, I totally agree with, because it's a lot more expensive for us than you guys. So, and I think that's the other thing too. If you're not in America, check your exchange rates, because I think that's going to be the killer for a lot of players. Um, it's unfortunate that yes, not unfortunate, but it's good that you can buy the ships in game. However, my biggest question has always been the fact that you don't get to keep them should they do a game wipe. Um,
Uh,
and
they're trying not to do as many wipes now.
right, Yep.
But it still does happen where you lose a ship that you
Right.
bought with
Yep.
AUEC.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this is the only game I think I've ever played where I've brought something in game,
Mhm.
and then been told, oh, well, if we do a wipe, you're going to lose it,
Mhm.
And I think that is going to be, I'm not going to say it's a deterrent, but I think it needs to be a consideration for people.
Well,
Um,
when we go to 1.0, when
right.
Star Citizen releases,
Mhm.
shaking my head, I'm a space marshal. You and me both, Wastelander. When 1.0 drops, we're gonna start over.
All right.
So every ship that you bought in game is gonna be gone.
Yeah.
You're gonna start at low money. If you have pledged ships, you're gonna have to build up from your starter ships all the way up.
Oh,
You
wow,
can,
they really
yeah, unless you bought uh UEC credits with real money.
right.
So that's how it's gonna be. Concierge equals resentful SC player. No, I don't resent. I don't regret. But that's what's gonna happen. And it's gonna be like when we started 4.0, we're gonna be at the lowest end of the totem pole and you're gonna have to build yourself up. That's just the
Right.
way it is. But and
I wonder once 0.1 or 1.1 or that event happens, you get your free ship, you get your active pledge ship, but after it gets destroyed, you get a recipe. You gotta
oh
build it.
yeah,
Oh, is
yeah.
that because of the new
The insurance and all like that. The
Yeah.
insurance will be in and I don't have any regrets,
Nope.
Rachel,
No
just like
regrets.
you. No regrets.
yeah,
But insurance is going to be a thing in 1.0. And if you
right.
have lifetime insurance on a ship, you're covered.
Right. If you don't,
But
you're screwed.
but only game I play for the most part, so no regrets. Yeah, same here. Um Insurance is going to be a thing and if you have to claim your ship, it's going to be stock. All the components that you
Oh,
put
yeah,
into
right.
that ship
Yep.
are going to be gone. But
Dang.
this is where they need to you need to be able to add to your insurance so you get your components back.
Right.
And I will gladly pay for the upgrades that have been put to the ship. I just have to add to the insurance policy.
Just like going back to the car dealership. Insurance and the extended insurance, please.
Exactly. So that's another thing. And insurance is going to be something else. There are ships I have a lot of LTI ships, and then there's some that I have to redo to get LTI on them. Okay. So you have to consider that. And the only way to get an LTI token is to buy an LTI thing with real money,
Right.
war bonded, and then upgrade that thing from that LTI token to get the ship that you want.
Right.
So those are things you have to consider, and th- that's all I can tell you. Uh, there's some ships that I had when I first started, and I didn't know this about the insurance, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" So
Yep.
my
Yep.
C2, when I got it, only had so much insurance on it. When it came around again in an IAE, right? I had a lifetime token that I hadn't used for 2 years,
Right.
right? I melted the C2 that I had and upgraded from the LTI token that I had to the C2. Now my C2 has lifetime insurance.
Right.
So that ship will never go away, right? That is one ship that I will always have.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure I saw BMM during Shadow's last session. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. But all in all, that's what you're going to have to deal with. And that's a couple years away. So I'm not going to worry about it at this point. But I do this. I do say that I have to say I don't buy a lot of ships in game. I really don't, because they're going to go away, and it kind of bums me out. Uh, but I don't spend a whole lot of my AUC on that. I'm trying to build up enough money to put in an org bank, which I have an alternate character that I take money and send to it, and I don't play that character.
Right.
I just keep it there, right? But
Right.
when 1.0 comes out, that's going to
You
get
know,
wiped anyway.
Yep.
So I have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, you know. Hopefully, we get better org tools, and the org money doesn't get wiped, but it's gonna get wiped in 1.0 anyway.
Which is a few years away anyway. So
Yeah, a couple years. Yeah.
yeah. So start saving your real money, people, because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, right.
That's the truth of it. Because I mean, I will say this though, I do, and people are gonna probably shout at me for this. I do think the prices in Star Citizen are way too high.
For the ships,
Well,
or
sort of
just in
across the
general.
board. Yeah, in general, you know, and by that I mean the pledging stuff
Yeah.
is very expensive. Um, you know, like I said, being from a country that has a different exchange rate. You know, for example, when Kirsty first came in, so yeah, it said it was $65 whatever in US.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like $130 in New Zealand money.
Mm.
So
Mm.
you can see how, you know, someone being outside of the States is really going to have to consider that
Oh
if
yeah.
they want to buy, you know, proper and keep their ships.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, you know, like I was saying earlier, this is the only game that I've ever played where I've brought something online knowing that I'm not going to be able to keep it forever.
Well,
And
I get what you're saying, but there are things in the game that get attributed to your um,
yep,
web account, web
yep,
hanger, and
right,
those are things that you keep all the time.
right, yep,
So if you say you pledge something, that is attributed to your account. If you earn
yep,
something in game that like weapons or paints or something like that, those are attributed to your account. They never go away. So you can earn things in game that will not disappear. So it's out there. Uh, my alternate medic account is named Lethal Injection. Pretty sure no one will need med services from me. That's funny. Uh, but I mean, that's all I've got for the Snowbirds meeting room. I'll be right back to close it out. Give me a moment, okay? I'll be right back.
No worries. I will be right back.
I'm still here. Now would have been the time for good Jeopardy music. Doop, 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 doop.
Okay, sorry about that. And
What, Mac?
thank you. So, anybody got any other questions, comments about the SCL, the state of the game, or anything like that at this point? Because I'm gonna no. Okay, I'm gonna close this out. Wow, 2 hours and 18 minutes in Snowbird's meeting room today.
Ooh, a short one today.
Short?
That didn't take long.
But a lot of good combo and great thoughts, great topics. This was a good one. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for Tone and Everett and Dyer and Lone and Tex dropping through. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will see you all tomorrow for some SC gameplay. I didn't want to do a gameplay session today. I wanted to talk and get your thoughts about the game and stuff like that, and get some comments about what's happening so far. So, I'm Shadow Spectre 11. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow in
Take care, everyone.
in the game. Take care, and see you later.
Shadow Spectre
I'll be
11
back.
hailing. Thank you for the likes and the views. Remember to tickle that notification bell so you won't miss our next videos. Thanks again. Shadow Spectre 11 signing off.